Welcome to But I'm a Lesbian, the podcast where we serve all baddie sass, queer film reviews, and everything in between. Whether you are a baby gay
or a queer elder, we're here, we're queer, and we're diving deep into all things lesbian. We're your hosts, Caitlin
and Angelina.
Get ready for some sapphic serotonin.
During this episode, we will be sipping on some amazing non-alcoholic cocktails that were graciously sent to us by Curious Elixirs.
Yes. So thank you so much, Curious Elixirs. They are a company that makes craft mocktails, and it's right up my alley because I'm a sober person. I've probably mentioned that already, but I'll mention it again.
Yeah, who doesn't love a good mocktail, right?
Yeah.
So this one is called Fancy Floral Champagne Cocktail, and it's giving serious brunch vibes.
Yes. So on today's episode, we are recapping and reviewing a classic hetero romance, Calamity Jane. So this film is from 1953 and stars Doris Day. We have a lot to say about this movie, and I'm going to let you know not all of it is good.
Yeah, so do you like movies from this era usually?
No.
It's like a Western musical.
Okay. I don't like Westerns. I mean, I liked that Cowboys versus Aliens movie. That's kind of a Western, but it was kind of like making fun of Westerns at the same time, you know, because it was like, aliens.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, you should see it. I think there's two of them. But I don't really like Westerns. They remind me of like my grandparents because they would watch Westerns like all the time.
Okay.
And yeah, not a fan. Also forgot about all the racism that is in Westerns until we started watching this.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it also this whole era of like movies from like I don't like old movies, you guys. So like usually the oldest movie that I will like is like the 70s. So This is from the 50s. This is too much for me, but I wanted to watch it because on TikTok people kept posting edits being like, look how gay this movie is.
Post edits. That's what got us to want to review this movie. We saw edits. We were sharing TikToks with each other.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my God. It's like, you know, there's a lot of gay undertones. And then we watched it and we were like, I can see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think.
not as much as I anticipated. Yeah. They took all the gayest things and put them in those edits.
They literally did. All we needed to do was just watch that edit and be like, yes, that's all. Those are only gay parts. The rest, we don't even need to like talk about.
No, but we will.
Yeah, we will. We will.
So do you like movies from this like era, this time period?
I used to when I was younger, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then when you get older, you watch it and you're like, so everybody is racist and they're sexist and this is wrong.
Yeah.
I do like musicals.
I love musicals.
Yes, but this one specifically was just so hard to get through. It was, I don't know. I do, but no. It depends, I think. I do like older movies just as long as they're not, you know. But it's kind of hard.
I'm like the worst, like, with watching older movies. I will literally be like, it's black and white. Nah, fuck that. We're not watching it. Also, a movie we're going to review in a few episodes, Go Fish, is all in black and white. And it's not even that old. I think they were just trying to be artsy. I'm going to tell you ahead of time, I was very annoyed that there was no color. I don't like black and white.
Okay, that's not the part that I thought you would hate.
Oh, there's more, but I'm not trying not to ruin it.
Okay.
Anywho, so do you have a hot take or a burning desire about this movie?
I did, but I feel like it's so basic. So my hot take / burning desire is I wish that Calam and Katie ended up together because I feel like that would have been so nice, but also very uncommon and probably not even allowed for that to happen.
I had to keep reminding myself that like there's like this point where they're living together and it's like to me I'm like that should be the end. Like they live together in this cute cabin. It's like so gay. It's
their names are on the front door painted.
Yes,
with
it's so
flowers.
cute. And it reminds me of when I was a kid and like other kids wanted to like get married. Like other girls would talk about like their husband. And I'm like, I just want to like grow up and have like a roommate that I'm really good friends with. Like I live with my best friend.
You're like, that's the life.
We just hang out all the time. So yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I wish that happened too, but it would have been really crazy for the 50s.
Yeah, they probably would have been like, no, redo. No.
Yeah.
Like, ban this movie. It's not even allowed.
I do think, the real person it's based on
Mhm.
did marry a man, but
She
also
did.
she probably had to at the time. Who knows? Maybe she was gay. I don't know her.
I just feel
But
like
maybe
she's
she-
gay.
yeah.
I know it.
But I definitely, I put so many things on my hot takes. First, I just wrote racism. Then I wrote, so we already talked about that. And then I wrote, oh yeah, early Calam was giving pick me vibes
Yes, she
so
was.
hard, and it was making me mad. Like there's a part, I'm sure probably Angie will mention this, where she sees like the like actress that all the guys are looking at, and she's like, oh, ew, she's just in her undies for everyone to see. And it's like, girls, you like it.
She's like, no decent man would ever look at this picture, especially not my lieutenant. And I'm like, girl, he's the first one wanting to look at that picture.
I was like, ew, it's giving like slut shamey, like jealousy vibes. And that's where I was like,
it's her
I don't
internalized
know.
misogyny because she just knows that
Yes.
she wants to be with women.
Yes,
That's what I'm.
because my initial, I was like, this isn't giving gay. This is giving like she's just a hater.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, maybe there is more to it.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, that was my hot take. Just that she was a pick me, and I don't like that.
I agree.
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah, I was not into that. So I guess now we probably need to take a little break. Grab your mocktails or cocktails real fast, and when we get back, we will discuss the movie. Welcome back to But I'm a Lesbian. This week we are discussing Calamity Jane. This is not technically a sapphic film, but it gives plenty of gay vibes in our opinions.
Yes, it does. It made it seem more gay than it actually was with that edit, but I guess you can do that to anything. All you
TikTok
need is like
tricked
a
us.
gay song and like some some stares
Longing
in between.
looks.
Yes, exactly. The longing, can't forget that. And then we're like, it's gay. It's gay enough for us to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, so this movie starts with Calamity Jane. They call her Calam for short. Her and her men, they're on their wagon. They're on their way back to the town called Deadwood. And she's singing, of course. And I think it's like, I know that she is definitely trying to like, I want to say she wants to fit in with like everyone, but she's also like in a whole different like category because obviously she's a woman and they see her as
Yeah.
that, but they're also like, she's just like one of the boys, which leads to her little pick me vibes.
Yeah.
So she's coming back. There's a whole opening number of songs, and then she's at the manager's like this place, and there's like a little bar. There's like a little showroom. There's a bunch of men, and it seems like she like people do respect her, but also they sort of like make fun of her too because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, she's a woman trying to be a man, you know.
Mhm.
And she's like putting people in their place. So more singing.
Yeah, I
More
didn't know
sing-
it was a musical, so I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
I'm like, more singing, guys.
Mhm.
So Adelaide Adams is like this famous actress, and they get like these little pictures of her, and it's in the cigarettes, right? They had it in like
I
it
think
was like a
so.
little picture that when you're done with your like cigarette box, it's on there.
You get a sexy picture.
Yeah. And so everyone's like, oh my God, Adelaide Adams. And she's like, who's Adelaide Adams? Like, what is that? And they're like, you don't know who she is? And then they like are raving about her, everyone. And she's just like, well, what you said, where she's like, she's just in her underwear. She's like, she's nothing, basically. And no decent man would ever look at her picture, especially her lieutenant, Gil Martin, that she's in love with, but is like, you know, not so forward about it. But she's just like, especially not him, you know, like. So we're supposed to get the vibe that she does have someone that she likes, even though she's very tomboyish.
Mm-hmm.
But men come back and they are like, oh my God, the Native Americans got us, which obviously they're like, we had to run. We left him there. And she's like, you left Lieutenant
You
Gil
left
Martin
my
there?
man.
She's like, you're such cowards. And she rides off on her horse. And fun fact, I did look this up. Doris Day does do all of her like horseback riding. Like she does all those like little stunts.
She's like a fancy horseback. Right.
Well,
an
she
equestrian.
learned. She's a horse girl.
Yes. Did she learn for this movie?
She learned for this. Like she had ridden horses before, but it was more in depth because she was doing like those little things. So when they show her on there, obviously it's a green screen, but like she is on the horse and she is trying to do those little things, which I was like, okay, girl, all right. But so she goes back. And it's very stereotypical Native American, and which is crazy that they just had, like, most of the old movies just had white people or whoever else dress up as whoever they were trying to portray.
Yeah.
So it was Lieutenant Gil Martin there, and she shoots the Native Americans and she saves him, and she's just like, oh my God, like, I'm so glad you're safe. And she goes back and is like, I killed all of them. They were no match for me. And she was obviously saying very disrespectful things about the Native Americans. So racism's just like one of the like
yeah, like I was confused. Like, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be on her side. Like they went to this land that already belonged to other people and then are mad at the other people and are killing them, the people who this was their land in the first place.
Yeah.
Fucking white people make me so mad. I am literally the whitest person, so I feel like I can say that. But sometimes I'm really embarrassed about how white I am because people like this. I'm like, what are you doing?
You're like, why is this? It's so many things in the beginning because they say they're in the Dakota territory and they're like, oh yeah, we're trying to fight, like get this land. And I'm like, okay, so you were in the wrong then. And obviously all the other men are listening to her tell this story and be like, whoa, like they're in awe of her, except for one man, Wild Bill Hitchcock. And he's like, that's a lie. I bet you didn't even do that. And she's just like, do you want to fight?
Yeah. Did you feel like he was negging her?
Yes,
like
absolutely.
I feel like he liked her and was like, I don't think so. Like, what? Do you want to like fight me? Like, I don't know. I feel like there was a weird like fake fight scene.
Yeah, no, there was because he
was trying to flirt with her.
He did. He was flirting with her. And I think he knew that, but to her, she's just like, oh, this annoying ass man is like always getting on my fucking nerves. Yeah. And she was just like, what are you talking about? And he's just like, very clearly, like very childish, trying to be like, oh my God, if I make fun of her enough, then she's gonna fall in love with me.
She'll probably fuck me if I keep being mean to her.
And so all while this is happening, the manager of the place, Millie, is like, I'm looking for, because he's in charge of putting on talent. And as they portray the men of this town, which there seems to be no other women other than Calam that I saw.
Yeah, I know. Around. And then later they show women at like a dance, but they must have come from a neighboring town because they didn't show the women. Or I guess because it's just a bar and it's like women don't hang out in bars. That's not ladylike. But Calam does because she's one of the boys.
She's one of the boys. Yeah. He's in charge. Millie's in charge of getting the talent. And he's like, where's my woman? Where's my like actress? Because she's set to perform here. And he mistakenly hires someone, what he thinks is a woman named Frances Fryer, but it's a man and he is an actor, but he's just like, that's me. Like, I'm Frances Fryer. And he's just like, oh, fuck. Like, they're going to tear me to shreds. Like, they're going to hate me. But then he has a bright idea to force Frances into drag.
Yeah.
To be like, you are going to perform. You'll pull it off. And which I thought is so funny because that is very common in older movies. I've seen that a lot. But yet they're like, there was never anything queer about our older movies.
If there's anything with drag, now it's indoctrinating children. And this is like a new thing.
That makes me think of something that came out with Snoop Dogg. So fuck him.
I'm mad about that.
Fuck him. He was already over when he performed at Trump's inauguration. Yeah. But fuck him especially for this. Anyways.
Yeah, we don't like Snoop Dogg anymore.
We don't. Yeah, so... anyways, so during the performance, he comes out and Calam is looking at him like there's a little something off about him. And I think Bill can see it too, but they don't they don't know what is off about him.
I think they're just like, this is kind of an ugly
They're
woman
like, this
to
is
be
an
an
ugly ass
actress.
woman.
Okay.
They're like, wherever they got her from, oh God.
Yeah.
But the other men are so drunk and disgusting. They're like, oh my God, yeah, like, woo. They're like, yes, another woman besides Calam, because she's not really a woman. Like,
yeah,
she's
they don't view her that way.
So he performs and he's getting into it. He's like really doing it, but his wig comes off and they're like, what the fuck? This was a man.
He could just be a woman with short hair.
I know.
But I guess that wasn't a thing.
That wasn't a thing. I guess no one had short hair during that time. They're immediately so mad and they start like rioting. They're like, what the fuck? And they're like wanting to like hurt Millie. And Calam's like, hold on. I know that this is a man, but he was mistaken, guys. Don't treat Millie like this. Like, how can you treat him like this? And then she basically lies and says, you know what? He has something special. He got Adelaide Adams, and I'm going to go bring her from Chicago, or I don't want to say how they say Chicago because I'm like going to mess it up.
Yeah. Like, we're going up to Chicago.
We're going up to Chicago and we're going to get you Adelaide Adams.
So weird.
And then at the end of it, obviously Bill knows that she's lying and it's just her, Millie, and Bill. And she's like, well, fuck, how am I going to do this? And he's like, well, you promised it, girl. So go do it. And Bill's like, I'll make a bet with you. If you can bring Adelaide Adams, I'll come dressed up here from, I don't remember what tribe exactly they're stealing land from, but he's like, I'll come dressed up as a Native American because it's so funny, right? Anyways. So
yeah. I was like,
do you remember what
fuck?
tribe?
No, because I think I blocked it out. Also,
you were like, I can't deal with this.
This movie was upsetting me and it was so long. It wasn't even that long. It was like exactly 2 hours, I think, but it felt like it was like 3.5 hours.
I would have enjoyed it had it not been that. And I usually do. I do like Doris Day's films, but like this one was just unbearable. Anyways, then before that, there's a whole song with Calam and Bill about their little like fake thing where they cannot stand each other. But you can clearly tell.
Oh, I hate her so much.
Yeah. He's like, you're this and that. Oh my God. Like, I hate you.
Get over here.
But she really means it because she's just like, oh, like the disgust in her face. But so she goes on her journey and they're like, bye, Calam. Like, bring her back. And she's like, got you guys. Like, don't worry. So she goes all the way to Chicago, which I think it's so funny how she can even like make it there and get past everything because now obviously that wouldn't happen. That's like us promising someone super famous on the podcast and then Caitlin and I are like, let's go on a journey to go get her.
You guys, we're getting Renee Rapp. We're going to go get her in Chicago. Bring her back on our covered carriage.
Oh my God. They'll take us like literally a month to get there by carriage now.
Also, I'm vegan. I
know,
literally
you
wouldn't even be in horse-drawn carriage. It'd be an electric carriage. Like, anyway, just kidding. We can't get Renee Rapp.
Yeah, we can't promise that, guys. And so she makes it there and she sees Adelaide Adams is performing, but she doesn't quite see her because there's a lot of men that are like at her show and she's like, I can't see her, but she can hear her voice. And oh, yes. When she arrives, all the women are like, oh, my God. They're like smiling. And they're like.
Yeah, that was the gayest part of the movie, I thought.
And she's just like, oh, she's like, why are they like giggling at me? And then she checks out another woman's butt because it's like part of like the dress.
I was like, is this like trying to say like city women are gay? Like, because no, I don't know. It was weird to me, but I was like into it. All of the women.
Like smiling at her.
At first, one of them giggled, and I was like, "Are they like making fun of her or something?"
I thought,
or
but
maybe
then another one winked at her. Another one winked at her. I can't wink at it. They were giggling, but like I guess like they were like, "Oh my God, like he's so attractive," but it's just Calam, and Calam's just like, "Me? Like, what are they? Why are they like laughing at me?"
But also, your dress has like a big butt,
and she's just like
those dresses with the
and she's walking, and her thing is like bouncing, and Calam literally is like
extreme beach volleyball.
She's like, "Wow." And then, that was the opening scene, her going to Chicago, and she's like, there's like lots of buildings, and everyone's dressed in like a suit. They're all dressed
like
up.
Never seen somewhere like this.
Yeah. And so she makes it there and she goes into the dressing room, which was, I think, is so funny because like Adelaide Adams is supposed to be this big star, but like you can just walk right to her dressing room.
Yeah.
But Adelaide Adams is kind of a bitch, guys. She's like all smiles and like whatever, but then she's talking to her maid / assistant Katie, and she's just like, "Oh my God, this is so fucking boring. I can't wait to get out of here. I'm going to Europe." And Katie's just like, "Okay, like, can I like, you know how I can sing and like dance too? Can you like put in a good word for me somewhere?" And she's like, "Honey, you're only good for like choirs and wedding or
Yeah.
choirs and weddings. And even then, you're just like not that pretty." So
I know. She's not a girl's girl. I was
She's
so
not.
mad. I was like, oh, because she just wants all of the attention and
Mhm.
fame for herself. And also, they literally look alike.
They
So
do.
her being like, you're not that pretty is like kind of a read on herself because she looks just like her.
She looks she does look like her. And so Katie was being so nice too, because she's like, "I don't ever think I'd be like
That
a big
famous
star like you, but can I like at least like sing on stage? Like even if it's just for a crowd?" And Adelaide's like, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends.
In Europe.
Bye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, "Maybe I'll send for you. Oh, do you want this dress, by the way?" Like, it's just like, whatever. Like, it's rags to her. And so Katie's like, "Well, fuck you, bitch." And she's
Mm.
like, "I'm going to put on this dress." And she starts singing, and we know she has a good voice and she can dance. And Calam is walking up and hears her singing and is like, "Oh my God, Adelaide Adams." And so she is at the doorway and Katie's like, "Oh my God, like what the fuck are you doing here?" Because she thinks Calam is a man. And Calam's like, where, like, what, who's the vermin with her gun, even though like she thinks it's her.
Yeah.
So there's that misunderstanding until Calam is like, "You thought I was a man? Oh my God, that's so funny." And then she's like, "That's actually not funny because that happens a lot."
That's
She's
actually
like,
not funny.
"Oh," she's like, "I guess I would look pretty strange to like a city girl." And she's just like, "Oh, well, like," she's trying not to be rude, but she's like, "Okay, well, I feel better now that you're like a woman." And so she's like, "Can you come and perform for Deadwood? It's like this really small town where there are no trains for 100 miles."
Yeah.
And it's like there's literally no real woman there.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Oh, but like, I mean, you came all the way over here for me," because obviously she would think that, Calam would know that she's not Adelaide Adams, but Calam thinks she's Adelaide Adams. And Katie's like, "Well, fuck it. I'm gonna say that I'm Adelaide Adams."
Yeah, that bitch is in Europe anyway.
Yeah,
and
she's
it's not
like-
like there's like internet. Like she's not gonna find out.
The way of hers basically like the equivalent to that being like, "Oh, is this like, are you gonna film this so no one finds out?" She's like, "Are there any trains nearby?" I'm like, she's like, "Not for 100 miles." So she's like, "And you're
Good, it's
practically like
isolated.
forcing me to go." And she's like, "No, I wouldn't say I'm forcing you," but she's like, "Let's go."
So she's like, yes, you are.
She's like, "I'll say I was forced. Okay, let's go." And so they make it back to Deadwood, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Adelaide Adams," because the only picture that they have of her is from the cigarette box, and it's like kind of like I can't imagine what it looked like in person, but it's not that good, and she does look like her anyways.
Well, yeah.
So
Because it's supposed to be like the 1800s, right? Like
Yeah.
in Western. So it's
Yeah.
like the technology of the photos was probably not the best anyway.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's like a pretty white woman with dark hair. Like,
yeah,
looks like
and she's
her.
in her underwear.
Yeah,
So that's what they're
scandalous.
looking at, not her face, really.
Yeah.
So they're like,
They're
all
like,
they see is a
wow.
pair of legs, and they're like, "It's her." Oh my
Yeah.
God, guys. So she makes it back, and everyone's like, "Whoa." And immediately Lieutenant Gil Martin, and Bill are like smitten with her. And everyone's like, "Calam, you did it." She's just like, "I told you I would, guys." And Francis Fryer is still there, and he's just like, "Oh, well, we had a show like in the same town at different theaters, but like I don't know if you remember me." And she's like, "It's so nice to see you again." And he's just like, "Yeah, okay, like sure, girl, like okay, Adelaide."
He seems suspicious.
He seems suspicious, which maybe he knows, right? Because he's the only other person from the city.
Mhm.
And so after she's there, they get her set up and she's in her dressing room and she's like getting ready, which I think is kind of crazy. I want to know how long it took them to get there, because as soon as they like step foot in Deadwood, she's like up there getting ready to perform. And I'm like, "Are you not tired, girl?" I don't know how long it take,
don't
especially
know.
by like horse.
It probably
you know?
took a long time and she slept on the way. I don't know.
Probably. I'm like, probably. So then Francis tries to tell Millie, he's like, "So that girl, she's like kind of not Adelaide Adams," but he says it in a way where he's like, "She's not, but she has to be," because he already could see how the crowd reacted when it wasn't. He turned out to be a man. So he's like, all right, she'll have to do. Like, she's a woman. She's pretty. She's from the city. She'll do. And so Katie / Adelaide is like very nervous, and she's like, what did you get yourself into? And so when she starts performing, she has stage fright, and her voice is not that good.
She
and
hasn't really done it because somebody wouldn't ever let her.
She's never done it. She's done it like in private, but not in front of a crowd. And so she's like doing her little performance, and they're like, wow, she doesn't sound the same, which is funny because they've never heard her sing, but they're like, she doesn't sound like a singer. Like she's pretty, but she's not doing a good job. And so basically she stops the performance and is just like, oh God, like this is going horribly. And then Calam's like, what's wrong, Adelaide? Like, well, Calam's the only one that's heard her sing. And she's like, you're not singing how you sang back in Chicago. And she's like, that's because I'm not Adelaide Adams. And Calam's like, oh my God, you're so funny, you guys. She's like, you're just joking, right? Because people in the crowd are like, oh my God, of course she's Adelaide, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, actually, I'm not. Like, my name is Katie Brown. And Calam.
The most basic name.
Yeah, basically. And everyone's like, Calam, you bamboozled us. And Calam's like, hold on, I had no idea. And she's like, don't blame her. Like, she came in thinking that I was Adelaide Adams, and I just went with it because this has always been my dream. Like, I want to sing and dance in front of people. I want to be an actress. Mm-hmm. And then Calam's like, well, damn, girl, you pulled one over on me, but also, okay. Like, everyone calm down. She wants to be an actress. What's so wrong? She's pretty, isn't she? And she keeps saying that, like, a lot. When she first met Katie, what she thought was Adelaide, she's like, wow, I didn't even know a woman could be this beautiful.
Oh,
like,
I remember that.
And I was like, girl, you're fucking gay. Like, you're like, fucking gay.
Oh my God.
She wasn't she like taken aback, and she's like, whoa, like you are just like stunning.
Yeah.
And then again, she says that, and she's just like, she's beautiful, isn't she? Let's just give her a chance.
Come on.
She's like, guys,
pretty privilege.
So wrong? Yeah.
Just let her do it.
She's like, what's so wrong, you guys? And everyone's like, all right, we'll let her do it. So immediately after, they're like, all right, girl, you can do this. She starts singing and performing like
super
amazing.
Good.
Yeah. She's just like, it's like a new thing. That's all she needed was to feel comfortable.
Yes.
And so after, they're all just so happy with her, and they're like, oh my God, we didn't get Adelaide, but we got her. And she's upset because Calam is upset because she hears Gil Martin talking about her, and she's just like, okay, but also like she's pretty, so I get what you're saying. So after, oh yeah, I already said that. Oh yeah, Bill says to Katie, she's like, are you going back to Chicago? And she's like, no, actually, Calam said I should go live with her in her cabin.
Gay.
And I was like, so gay. And can we say Yeehaw? Because that's
for real.
immediate.
Oh, wow, the most Yeehaw. They literally just met.
I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, Calam says I should go live with her, and I'm going to go live with her. And Calam's like, yeah, I figure she's my responsibility. Like, it's my duty to protect her because I brought her all the way from Chicago. So, you know. And
okay,
then,
Daddy.
Right?
That's what I was getting. Like, I have to protect her.
She's like, I'll take care of her here in Deadwood, guys. And so literally the next scene is like, they sing their little song. And okay, they sing their little song, and they are decorating this entire thing. Katie gives Calam's cabin a woman's touch, and Calam gets in the spirit too.
As if Calam is not a woman.
Exactly. Katie's like, we could really use some like decorating here. And Calam's like, oh my God, bestie. Okay.
Yeah.
They paint the door with the flowers. They're having all these little things. And okay, maybe it's because, you know, they don't want you to think too much into it, but I only saw one bed in there. I thought that, and I was like, okay, maybe obviously it's because they're both women, but I was like, so gay. Come on.
Who would think that women would do anything?
Exactly. Like, and they're
weird.
Like, exactly. And so like they decorate it, and they're singing with each other, and Katie's like, I can teach you how to be like a proper woman, you know, and you just protect me in return. Like, you just let me live here. And so each, like, I want to say some time has passed, but we see that like Calam is wearing like a proper dress, and Katie's teaching her like, this is what you do, because I know that you like Gil Martin. I know you're in love with him, and you want to win him over, and he wants like a proper woman, you know? And so Calam's like, all right, fuck it. But it's hard to like take her personality out because that's just who she is.
Yeah.
Like, and she said multiple times, like, if people don't like me for who I am, then basically fuck them. Like, this is just who I am. Because Bill told her again with like the whole like bullying thing, like bullying is flirting. He's like, maybe when you go to Chicago, you can like see how real women dress. Get yourself some like pretty clothes and do yourself up and like, you know, whatever. And she's just like, what the fuck? No.
He wanted to fuck her the whole time.
He wanted her so bad, but he was just afraid. Low key, yeah. And so Gilmartin and Bill are at the little like bar saloon thing, and they're like, oh my God, we're here to see Katie. And he's like, you and every other man. Millie's like, you and every other man. She's not here. She lives with Calam. And they're like, she lives with Calam. So they're like, all right, I guess we have to go see Calam now. And they both race over there because there's a whole little song about Bill being in love with Katie.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is just lust. They don't even know her. They just are like, this is the prettiest woman that I've seen. So.
The only, I guess, woman that they have.
But pretty much besides Calam. So this is like the only like feminine, like woman like, from the city. They're like, oh my God, I love her.
Yeah. So he sings a whole thing and he's just like, oh my God. Because they have like a whole like picture, like a cardboard cutout of her. And Bill's just like, oh my God, I love her. Yeah. So they both are in love with her and they're fighting for her affection. So they go and we see Calam is like, I have to go help someone. So I'll be back. I'm going to be gone. And Katie's just like, okay. And Katie sees both of them and she's like, oh, hey guys, like, what are you doing here? And they're like, well, we're here to see you. And they're like, she's like, Calam's not here. And they're like, girl, we don't give a fuck about Calam. They're sad. Like, we want to see you. So she kind of knows because she knows that Calam is in love with Gilmartin. So she's just like, let me play this cool. They come in there and they're like being very like flirty with her. Like very like if they're alone together, then they're like, well, you need to kiss me kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like weird.
Wasn't it? And
I was scared for her.
I know, like she's like, come in, I'll make you some tea. And I'm like, no, girl, don't let them come in. So they are flirting with her and Katie's like dodging their advances. And she like sends Bill to chop some wood. But even though there's wood there, she just covers it. Yeah. So then she's talking and Gilmartin like thinks this is like time to shine. He's like, oh, hey, like, you know, and she's just like, no, we can't because Calam is in love with you and you probably love her too. And he's like, no. No,
I don't.
He's like, we're just friends. We're really good friends. I am in love with you. And she's just like, you know, like, I don't think so. And so basically they both want to invite her to a ball. And she's just like, well, we can go as like a double date. Like it'll be you, me, and Calam, and you know, you guys can come. And they're like, Calam, like we don't want to take her. And so then they do like this little like whoever draws the short or long string has to take Calam.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. And then because Katie's like, well, Gilmartin, you should take Calam. And he's like, no, I don't want to take her. But Bill ends up having to take Calam. And he's like, you know what? That's fine. Because Calam and I are friends and I will have fun. Calam walks in through the door and she's covered in mud because she's like, I fell. Like, she's all dirty. And they're like, sure, she doesn't look very different. But Katie is like, no, you guys are going to be so amazed. She's so beautiful. Gay. She's like, she's amazing. But no. Anyways, she's like, oh, hey, guys. Like, what are you doing here? And Katie tells Calam, like, hey, Bill's going to take you to this ball. And she's like, oh, my God, wonderful. She gets a moment alone with Gilmartin. And she's like, I know you really want to take me, but you should take Katie. And Gilmartin's like...
Oh, no. Okay.
Gilmartin's like, oh, my God, I guess if you insist, like, you're the best. So they are all dressed up. And again, she's in her best clothes and she looks like a proper woman because she's wearing a dress. And they arrive to the ball. Everyone is in shock about like, how Calam looks.
She's pretty?
Yeah. They're like, is that Calamity Jane? Oh, my God. And she's just like, why does everyone want to dance with me? They give her like these little things.
To like, what was it?
It's like save a dance.
Oh, yeah. Kind of. All the guys were giving them to her.
And she's like, whoa, what the fuck? And Bill's like, kind of like, yeah, you know, like, that's good. And the entire time Calam is trying to dance with Gilmartin, but he's just like, he only has eyes for Katie. And so he basically like dodges all her little advances. And Calam is like, what the fuck? And Bill's like, I'll dance with you. Because he's equally as mad because he's in love with Katie. And they're dancing and stuff. And this is where Calam goes a little bit crazy because she's like making a scene because she sees them outside. And basically they profess their love for each other. And I'm like, how long have you guys known each other?
I don't know. It's
but
weird.
Okay. And Katie's just like, we can't. And Gilmartin's like, I could care less about what Calam thinks and where she's at. I don't care.
Yeah,
Katie's
he's not
a
a good
more,
friend.
He's not a good friend. He's like, we're just friends, but I don't give a fuck about her. And Katie's just like, you know. And so Calam sees this and she like is going to storm off. And Bill's like, hold on, girl. She shoots a glass out of Katie's hand. And she's just like staring at her like, fuck you. You know what you did. And she leaves, and Katie's just like, sure. She tells Gilmartin, like, all right, you say that she doesn't care. She literally fucking shot this glass out of my hand. Mm-hmm. So then Calam goes back, and there's this whole scene where she's like packing her stuff up. And she's just like, she seduced him. She's a whore. Like, she's all this other stuff.
Going back to her pick-me roots.
Yes. She's just like, look at all this stuff. Like, I'm so upset. And Bill's just like, hold on now, because your little lieutenant was on the other side of that kiss. So why aren't you as mad as him? And she's like, no. He was seduced.
And he's like, an innocent little man.
Yeah. She's like, no, like, no, Katie was the one doing all this stuff. And he's just like, girl, no. And he's like, I liked Katie. And I'm upset over it as well. But what can we do? Like, they're with each other. They clearly are in love. And she's just like, no, she's going back. So then the next day, Katie's performing because she's a big hit. They have her there. She's doing her little performances. Calam shows up and Katie's like, what are you doing here? And Calam's like, get the fuck out of town. And I'm like, Calam, you're kind of making a fool out of yourself.
I know. I was like embarrassed for her.
I was so embarrassed for her,
Cringe.
but she did not see it that way. She's like, you need to get the fuck out of town. And Katie's like, you have no right to tell me that. And she's like, yes, I do, because the lieutenant's mine. And so then she goes back to the bar and Katie's like, you know what? Someone passed me their gun. And Calam is looking at her like, And she's like, hold up your glass, Calam. Hold up your glass. And Calam's like staring at her. She's like, are you afraid? Like, you think I'm not going to make the shot? Because, you know, she is like a very feminine woman, so she can't shoot a gun, apparently. Mm-hmm. And all the other men duck. And Calam's like holding her glass up, and Katie shoots it out of her hand. And Calam's very embarrassed because not only did she get her man stolen from her, she's also not the like coolest woman there that can shoot a gun.
Damn.
She's like, fuck. And so everyone's cheering Katie. They're like, oh my God, she did it. Like, she actually made the shot. We didn't think she would. And Calam runs out, and Bill's going again behind her because he's like, oh my God, Calam, are you okay? And she's just like, oh my God. And he basically like manhandles her and is like, no, you're not going to like ride away on your horse. Let's go for a carriage ride. And so she gets on the carriage and they take off. And basically he's like, girl, get the fuck over it. I shot the shot out of your hand because you needed to be humbled. And she's like, you fucking did that. And it shows like Katie didn't make it. She hit like the little barrel of thing. And so he was like, you have no right to tell people who they can and cannot love. I was equally in love with Katie. Get over it. He's not even all that much. And then Calam cries and he's just like, you are, oh yeah, he basically tells her that you dress like a man, you act like a man, but you are a woman. You have like the mind of a woman. So you went a little crazy.
I forgot that whole mind of a woman thing. And like, that was really annoying.
It was. He's like, you're still a woman deep down.
I was like, you're just a silly woman. Of course you would act like this.
Yeah. He's like, you've done a lot of things, Calam, but you've never made a fool out of yourself like you did right now. And so I had to humble you and embarrass you in front of everybody. And I was like, well, damn. And she was upset about that. But then she cries. He's like, just cry. Let it out. Let your women feelings out. And then you'll feel so much better, girl.
Yeah.
And she's like actually upset because she's just like, I've been in love with them ever since, like forever. And I wanted to get married. Like, I pictured us getting married and decorating my cabin, sort of like she did with Katie. But and he's just like, well, damn, like you wanted that too, because I wanted to marry Katie, which I guess it makes sense. Back then, they're like, you're available, I'm available. Let's get married, have kids, do the whole thing, you know? And so he's like, well, I didn't know that's what you wanted. And she's like, yeah. So they're talking and they eventually kiss and she is so fucking happy. And she's like, oh my God, Bill. And he's like, well, hold on. What happened to Lieutenant Gilmartin? And she's like, oh my God, who? She literally says,
she moved on so fast.
And I put she found a new beard because
For real.
she's just like, any man that's available, like pick the popular guy in town. And she's just like, oh my God, I've been in love with you all this time. And he's just like a man. So he's like, oh my God, yay. Someone wants me. And so then she is like singing this song. And she's just like all dressed up. Like she's dressed up, not in her usual attire, which was like very dirty. And that's why she was mistaken as a man. It's still in pants. Like she still has pants on. It's still like her little getup, but it just looks nicer. And she's like, I'm in love. And she goes into town and they're taking Katie's thing down. And she's like, guys, like, what's wrong? And no one wants to talk to her. They're mad until Millie tells her, like, you wanted her out of town, so she's leaving town. And she's like, but I didn't think she would actually leave. Didn't she? She shot the glass out of my hand. She proved herself. And Gil Martin comes and he's just like, you're selfish. You ruined this. He's so upset. And she's just like, I know, I was selfish and I did ruin it and I'm sorry. And he's like, look at this letter she wrote. She said in the letter, like, I'm so sorry that I betrayed Calam. I know you're in love with Calam and Calam's in love with you. So just be together. Forget that I say that I was Adelaide Adams and now I'm going back to Chicago. And she's like, oh my God, no, I need to go get her. I need to tell her, like, I'm in love with Bill. And so she runs off and Bill, they meet halfway and she's just like, I have to go get Katie back. And they give like a kiss. They kiss each other again. And she's like, bye, babe. I'm going to go get my girlfriend back. And she is going, she sees one of the guys named Rattlesnake, which I thought she was saying, stop, a rattlesnake for the horse, but his name is Rattlesnake. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I mistaked you for a Native American. Like, I didn't know that was you, Calam. And so she does this whole little scene and she's like, Katie, I'm getting married. And Katie's like, bitch, to my man? Yeah. She's like, I don't want to fucking hear this. And she's like, to Bill. And Katie's like, oh my God. She's like, okay. And then she's like, come back. And basically, not a lot of words are spoken about him. And they like hug, whatever. And Rattlesnake looks in and he's like, 2 females? Which I thought that was part of like the edit where they were like saying it's gay because he's just like scratching his head like 2 females can show each other affection. Yeah. But also gay.
Yeah. He was like, are they marrying each other?
He's like,
no.
What?
He didn't go that far.
He's like, I know, but like, that's what I was just like, oh my God, that's their little happy ending. See, I would have been happy with that. And that's not a true ending for me. Yeah. But I would have been happy. So then they're singing and they're having a double fucking wedding. And they live happily.
Because they really want to marry each other.
They really want to marry each other. They're like so fucking happy, but they're like, we're both getting married. Oh my God. And it ends with a beautiful song and a lavender marriage for both.
Yes.
And that's the end, guys.
That's that.
Yeah. So
wow.
Not too gay. I put the end, boo.
Thank you for the recap. It was very descriptive and I wish that the movie was better.
I was reaching for anything gay that I could.
I could see the slight gayness in there.
I could too.
So now for the moment that you've all been waiting for, Munch, Merge, Murder. So our options this time are Calam, Katie, and Adelaide, who we saw for literally like 1 minute. So who would you choose?
Okay, so this is kind of hard. And I know this is kind of hard. Surprisingly enough, I feel like I would have to munch Katie because she showed the least racism out of everybody. And she just wanted to be an actress. I'd munch Katie. Actually, no, wait. I'd merge with Katie. Yeah. I'd munch Adelaide. And I'd kill Calam because, yes, she seems like somebody we'd go for. She's very masculine. However, she's very racist. And she's a pick-me. And I wouldn't want to deal with that internalized misogyny for the rest of my life.
Okay. We're on the same track because I was thinking I would definitely murder Calam and I feel bad because she's the main person, but she is racist. And also she's like exactly, I know she's not a lesbian, but she gives me those vibes of the lesbians that I hate who... I shouldn't hate any lesbians. I don't hate any lesbians. They're all,
which is very critical.
We're all dealing with our own things. But I don't like the lesbians that give off this like chauvinistic, like, I like women, so I have to act like a man and talk about women in this
Mhm.
like gross way. And I feel like she gives that because she tries so hard to be one of the boys. And I don't like that. I think that the way that women love women is so different than the way that men love women. And that is like what's so special about being a lesbian.
Mhm.
And so I hate it when women act like men. I hate it. Ugh, gross. Anyway, and then I think I would probably merge with Adelaide because she's rich.
I was thinking that, but then it was like,
She's a bitch though, but
she is,
it's okay
but she'd be a
because
rich bitch.
yeah, and she probably wouldn't even like it would be like an open marriage, you know.
Okay, I can see
an
that.
open living together arrangement. And we would go to Europe and do all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, you'd go to Europe. Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that
because
is
she
true.
was in Europe.
Oh my gosh.
And I would munch Katie.
Okay, see, that
So.
makes sense. Now I'm stuck with fucking Katie and Deadwood because she's like, I want to go home with you. And there'd
Right,
always
I
be a
wanna be
little love
rich.
triangle with Calam. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm making a whole story out of this. But anyway.
Like part 2. Calam gets murdered. Okay, so I feel like we could tell that we weren't that into this movie, but I'm curious to see what rating you would give it.
I think just because I can see some of it, some parts of it were interesting, but not that much. I give it a 1 out of 5.
Oh.
Cherries. You?
I was giving it a 2. I was trying to be nice.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh yeah, I wrote this near my rating, but it doesn't have to do with the rating, but I'm just going to throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Calam and Bill totally ended up with each other as like a consolation prize. Like that's what it was giving. It was like, we're both sad because we can't have the other person, but we don't want to be alone. So now we're with each other. So I thought that was weird, but yeah, I gave it a 2. I was going to give it a 1.5, but we're not doing 0.5s anymore, just so you know. So it's going to be just 1,
Just
2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the only options from now on. Okay, so we've done our ratings. So it's going to be time for another little break. So if you're enjoying But I'm a Lesbian, please head over to our Instagram and TikTok and follow to stay up to date on our newest episodes, hot takes, and breaking gay news. Follow at But I'm a Lesbian Pod on TikTok, Instagram, and even Facebook.
We are back with the latest edition of Literary Lesbians.
Yes. Okay. I'm so excited to talk about this book, but I don't have a physical copy of it because I read it on my iPad. So I can show you if you're on YouTube. It's right here, that one with a green dress. Don't pay attention to the other books. Those are none of your business. I'm just kidding. But it's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I mentioned this on like episode 2-ish, I think. It's just a really special book. I think I didn't have any interest in reading it because I was like, why would I want to read about a straight woman and her 7 husbands? Like this is the opposite of something I would want to read about. But then I happened to see a TikTok that mentioned that it was gay. And I was like, excuse me, this book is gay? And so I read it and it is surprisingly gay and it's really good. And there's also kind of like, it kind of keeps you guessing on certain things too, which is fun. Also, it's set, I think the reason I talked about it on episode 2 is because it's set back in like the 40s or 50s mainly. And Evelyn Hugo is like a fancy actress. That's, also of the time, a lot of the like Liz Taylor, right? Like they had like multiple husbands. Like it was just like they were like going through husbands.
Like, literally every year.
Yeah.
They're like new husbands.
Yeah. Which makes sense also, especially if you're gay and you're like, I don't like any of these guys.
Yeah.
And so it's written by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I guess she only recently came out as bi, but I guess I just assumed because she wrote this book about like a queer woman really well. I kind of assumed that she was like queer in some way, but she never officially said it, I guess, until a recent interview. Someone asked her and she's like, yeah, I'm bi.
She's like, clearly. Yeah, I wrote this.
Obviously. I will tell you, I haven't read any of her other books. I listened to there was a show made out of one of her books. It was Daisy Jones and the Six.
Oh, I've heard that, but I have not.
Okay, it wasn't gay, so I didn't like it. But
you read the book and the
I listened to the book.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't watch the show. I listened to
Okay.
the book when I was like on a road trip. I don't know where I was driving, but I listened to the whole book.
Oh,
And it's like in the 70s, which we love the 70s
We
style,
do,
right? And I love
yeah.
70s music.
Mhm.
But yeah, it wasn't gay. But this one's gay. It's good. It's going to be made into a movie. I am pretty sure that has been confirmed. They have not announced the casting or anything yet, but I think that Ana de Armas should be playing Evelyn Hugo. If they don't cast her, I'm going to be mad. I know she's like actually not that good of a person
I was
because she's
gonna
dating a
say-
dictator's son, but she's so pretty.
And she's like perfect for the role, you think? Like you can imagine her?
Yes, she's
Okay.
perfect for the role because the character of Evelyn Hugo is like basically she's like, who is that actress who they totally like whitewashed?
Who?
Is it Rita something? Rita Hayworth? Is that it?
Rita Hayworth, yes, they
Because
did.
she wasn't like white. She was some sort of
She wasn't-
Latinx.
Yes.
So this is a similar vibe. Like, she is Latinx of some sort. I can't really remember.
Mhm.
But like she makes her hair blonde and blah
To
blah
fit
blah
in,
to like
okay.
be that like famous star because at the time you like had to basically be like very white.
Okay.
And so I think that Ana de Armas would be a perfect person
Mhm.
for it. Also, I don't know, since I talk about the L word on every episode, I've got to mention when I first saw Ana de Armas, I was like, oh, she looks like
Oh, Jenny?
Jenny.
Yeah, she does.
She looks like Mia Kirchner, just if she had like more like baby face features, like bigger
Mhm.
lips and like more round face. But she's
Mhm.
so beautiful. I think Jenny is so beautiful. And I also think Ana de Armas is so beautiful.
Mhm.
I also really like the like dark hair and light eyes like Megan Fox. I think it's like the prettiest thing.
Yeah.
I tried to model myself after that. That's why I'm always making my hair dark. I'm like, I think it's so pretty. I'm like, do I want to be with that or do I want to be that? Who knows? Anyway, I really wanted to talk about this movie or this this book that's being made into a movie because I think it's really important and I don't want any other lesbians that listen to this to miss out on reading this because they also think it's straight like I did.
You need to get a petition for this to be made into a movie and to have Ana de Armas be the main character.
It better be her. Or, I mean, I guess they could cast Mia Kirchner, but like for the younger parts, she's a little old, but she's aging very well. Because like the book follows her from like youth like to old lady. So like I guess they could put somebody that's like 50 and like just
have her be like
softening filters when she's supposed to be like the younger version, you know, because it follows her throughout her life. Anyway, read the book. It's really good.
I definitely need to take your advice because I've yet to read the book.
You have to read it.
I need
it's
to
so
read
good.
it. So before we end today's episode, we want to shout out a short film called What Are We by the super talented writer, actor, director, all the awesome things, Eileen Hanley.
Yes. So Eileen Hanley has become sort of like a friend of the pod, I would say. Basically, I just really like her. She's really cool and nice, and she's super talented. And I wanted to shout out this short film that she has right now on YouTube. And it's like 14 minutes long, so it's super quick. It's definitely worth watching. It's queer. It has kind of like a situationship type of vibe. I can't really give anything away because it's literally only 14 minutes. So if I give a synopsis, I'm probably going to accidentally give everything away. But definitely go check it out. It's distributed through Tiny Scripted. So if you go on YouTube, it's on at Tiny Scripted. And then you'll see the film is called What Are We? So check it out when you have time. After you subscribe to us, then go over there and watch that. So thank you so much for tuning into But I'm a Lesbian. We are your go-to for sapphic media reviews, WLW drama, and unfiltered queer takes. If you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe on every platform. Leave us a review to help support the queer community and keep this lesbian-led pod thriving. After all, the algorithm's a bitch, and we're just two lesbians with mics out here trying to survive.
Don't miss next week's episode. We are going over the award-winning film Monster, starring Christina Ricci and Charlize Theron. This film is available on Pluto and Amazon Prime.
See you next Tuesday. Executive producers for But I'm a Lesbian are Caitlin Beatty and Angelina Herrera. Produced and mixed by Victoria Shiflett. Creative direction and video editing provided by Juanita Iriarte. Music by Stiletto Falsetto.